In November 2021, I earned the title Natural Mr. Olympia. Whilst I'm bursting at the seams with excitement, truth be told, the last 72 hours have been eye-opening, with heavy speculation whether I deservingly earned the title Natural. I can't think why. Eye-opening. He couldn't have seen this coming. Just a complete surprise if anything. I mean, what are we doing here? Is this for real? Upright rows. No, I'm just joking. As a Generation Iron, Generation Iron would like to congratulate Paul Kruger on his latest 2021 Natural Olympia win. Stick around for the forthcoming natural bodybuilding competitions. Kruger will likely be an eminent face. Am I living in the Matrix? Has someone unplugged that wire in the back of my head? Because is this not a little bit ridiculous? Is Donte Franklin the greatest natural bodybuilder?
Natty bodybuilding god.
Yeah, he's on the Thor supplements. And so how much do you think that lifetime natty Donte Franklin charges for 2 weeks of training where you can be coached by someone who is projecting a naturally attainable physique to you? Answer at the end of this video. And so the Natural Olympia champion voluntarily posted about his natty status, which is open for discussion, and so I think this is fair critique. And to be clear, I'm not bashing on the sport of bodybuilding. I understand it's a sport, but I do have eyes. I mean, a blurry excuse for eyes, but even they can see that this is a bit fishy. Congratulations, are you really lifetime natty? Yes sir, the body shows up differently when you go heavier and push to the upper limits of intensity every single workout. Okay, so heavyweight allows for what looks like, to my bad eyesight, a super physiological amount of muscle can be built, meaning beyond natural genetic limits, whilst at competition time the muscle still appears full and large whilst being at low single digit body fat numbers, whilst also being within your 40s. I mean, that's literally unbelievable. Literally unbelievable. That awkward moment when the guy you commissioned to make your avatar makes you look enhanced. Did he not get the memo? Did you use Fiverr? YouTube creator? Okay. Scientifically proven to boost your natty test. To be fair, that must be right, because this is the only natural guy I have ever seen who has shoulder and arm development like an enhanced professional bodybuilder. The natural test supplements must be the answer. Or not. I didn't have the means nor the connections to access PEDs. Well, that's unlucky. So I turned to sharing a £50 bag of horse feed. Is he sure it wasn't Russian protein powder? And yes, I have a weird recall of American Dad episodes, thinking if that's what big-ass horses eat, then there's no way I wouldn't be as big as a horse too. This gets stranger by the sentence. Is it one of those, I'm gonna make this paragraph so weird that people get distracted from the actual issue at hand? My brain is literally all over the place at this point, and all it can picture is this. If by any chance horse feed didn't work, a rare chance it didn't work. Secondly, I've only ever known heavy lifting. I'm one of those freaks that hogs all the plates, pushes through the weight with audible growls, and who is threatened to be removed from Globo gyms by this guy. And so, by the way, if someone is prepping for a fitness show and using heavy weight as their main protocol, of course that's fine, because you can build muscle with multiple rep ranges, and of course you can build muscle with heavy weight. That's absolutely valid. But if you're preparing for a show and you're cutting to single-digit body fat amounts, also PEDs would be evidence-based to help people recover between sessions. Obviously not in this case, but you know, in every other case. So we get the idea, and for sure this guy lifts heavy and he's strong, and he may be a very nice guy, and I'm sure he's absolutely consistent and dedicated to his sport, and he's extremely successful being the champion. But how do I put this? It is probably fair that people are wondering whether the Mr. Natural Olympia is actually natural, and whether this is a naturally attainable champion's physique, aka would Man City have won the league all those times without the Abu Dhabi millions? Does this guy have a secret De Bruyne with his oatmeal is what I'm asking. And loads of people think he is natural in his comment section, except this guy.
This is as a result of abusing juice for over a decade. Hop off the gear and test and watch how quickly it all goes.
Okay, so for fairness, here's the other side, where people are full of praising him for being natural. My man, screw anyone that wants to put their limitations on you, as if nobody can go bigger than they have the balls to attempt. You're the freaking man and possess integrity that I don't doubt for a second. Great post. Congratulations once again, Paul. It is great when athletes like you prove that natural bodybuilding has no limits. You inspire me, thank you. And age, of course, is a big consideration. He states that he's 42 years old, and to maintain muscle mass that impressive at that age is extremely hard naturally. If this were a 25-year-old man, I think it'd be fair that people were asking whether he's on PEDs. And so some of you may ask, well, what's the problem with this anyway? Well, if someone is competing in a natural bodybuilding competition and they are enhanced, that is extremely unfair on the competitors who are genuinely natural. Insert my favorite comedy page, Generation Iron. Paul Kruger is a professional natural bodybuilder, a champion and a coach. If there's any takeaway from his journey into professional natural bodybuilding, it's to never give up. He's proof of what your physique is truly capable of accomplishing without the use of steroids and PEDs. His story reveals what's possible for all upcoming bodybuilding professionals when you have the heart of a champion. Who employed Terry? Was it this guy? I've got more nonsense coming from him, and Terry's at it again.
Natural bodybuilder gives 3 tips to stay on track during the holidays.
So where was I? For people thinking that if someone is participating in a natural show, they must be natural because those shows are tested, That is not correct. Those events may have testing, which can be very easy to get around, especially if they're not random testing and you know when the testing is coming. Even with random testing, people can get around it with microdosing in different forms. MPMD does talk about that in depth on his channel. So just be clear, when it comes to, well, this is a tested show, that is not a nailed on 100%. In many cases, it's actually a very weak barrier to entry. Even Generation Arn got that one right, but he isn't the greatest natural bodybuilder of all time. Oh no, Donte Franklin is. Also apparently Lifetime Natural. You need gear to look like a mass monster, but there are those who have been blessed with supreme genetics and are able to remain natural. Well, that's a relief. Relying simply on good old-fashioned consistent training, Generation Iron everyone. And so here is Donte at 22 years old. What is that guy up to? And here he is a bit more recently. Okay, so Donte Franklin, another natural endorsed Generation Iron athlete. And so here is Donte Franklin. Please tell me down below, am I the only one? Have I lost my marbles? Because I'm looking at these articles thinking, where is the April Fool's disclaimer? And so here is a video titled Lifetime Natty Donte Franklin. Is there an emoji for scratching my head? Okay, look, maybe it's just the filter on the camera. Is there a juice filter on Instagram? But I'm genuinely stumped. Donte Franklin is proof that hard work on its own can pay off. And while every natural isn't going to look like him, no true natural ever that I've ever seen, they can still become an improved version of themselves. So I do actually like that last sentence, just not the rest of the article. Are you a fan of natural bodybuilding? Are you Generation Iron? Because you are spitting all over it with this complete nonsense that you are publishing. So considering both Paul and Donte claim natural, if that were not to be the case, they would both be in the category of fake natty liars. And here he is doing front delt raises.
Don't forget I am a professional diet writer, one of the best writers in the nation. I ghost wrote for a lot of Olympians out here. These paid me in peanut butter protein powder expressionless face heads. This diet I wrote for myself back in 2016 is my prized possession. It's pretty f***ing legit considering all the other crap that's out there. I'm willing to share it with the community for a reasonable price. Price, $4,000 for a 2-week program.
So of course that may be problematic if he is indeed enhanced, because people buying the courses think he's natural and perhaps they're getting the wrong expectation of what can be achieved naturally.
DM for nutrition training, supplementation, posing and or show prep coaching.
And so look, this guy is a champion bodybuilder, so shredded with large athletic muscle, and he's legitimately strong. He does lift heavy and he shows that at 42 years old. But don't worry, I have found the answer from rippednatural.com. Donte Franklin is a natural bodybuilder and there is no doubt about it. I'm James Linker. Thank you so much for watching. Finished.